Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at how you can complete the full power challenge of the Fighting Legend Goku event completely free to play. So this is part of the free to play challenge series. Basically, to cut a long story short, we try to complete as much of the game's content completely free to play. I think we'll do maybe one or two more Fighting Legend Goku challenges, and then we'll switch back to ESBR for a bit, come back, finish the Fighting Legend Goku event, etc. It's nice just to change it up a little bit, and then we'll move on to ESBR for a little bit as well, just to keep things different, keep things changed up. As much as it's cool to complete stuff free to play, it is always better to keep things with a bit of variety. But yeah, this is the full power challenge, and basically, to cut a long story short, the full power challenge is relatively simple nowadays. Full power is a pretty strong kind of free to play category with 3 really good free to play LRs and 3 really good free to play units. So we've got the Universe 6 trio, who you can get from the Universal Survival Saga event. We've got the Greatest Warrior Missions Goku, we've got the Physical Prime Battle Krillin, and we've got the Physical Master Roshi. And the friendly that we're taking is going to be the newly Easy Aid Physical Broly. And yeah, we're just going to see how everything kind of pairs up and how everything works. So basically, to cut a long story short, we'll talk about the LR units first, and then we'll talk about the rest of the team. So LR Physical Goku is a pretty strong unit. He has quite a lot going for him. He's obviously a lot better against extreme based units than he is against super class based units. And Goku is a super class based unit that you'll be fighting, so you don't really get his full buff, but he's more than fine defensively. We are running under a bit of a lower lead, 77%, that's being supplied by the Intercale. So to have LRs that have pretty high stats does help them out, as they're less affected by the percentage changes. Then we have a powerful pairing in the other rotation of the other 2 LRs. So we have LR Prime Battle Krillin, obviously a unit that changes his kit kind of depending on which number of units you're fighting. But Krillin overall just looks very good. He is an Earthling's lead of 150%. But he also can stack attack and defense on his 18 key, which is super duper important for this event. So we just basically keep Krillin ticking over with his 18 key, keep letting him really build up all that defense, and allow him to just kind of be the best tank we have in the team at this point in time. Then alongside him we have Master Roshi. Master Roshi's got a bunch of interesting tools in his wheelhouse. So you've got obviously a whole bunch of mechanisms that you can use from Master Roshi. A lot of them will slowly get kind of taken out by the event as Goku gains immunity to stunning, sealing, etc. But Master Roshi's really solid, some good damage. He has a good active skill for damage. We don't have enough Turtle School units to really activate his revive skill, which is the only real shame. But beyond that, we're all actually really quite fine. He also has that evasion chance, and in general he does okay. He does pretty well as a unit. Then on the other rotation we have Physical Full Power Broly, obviously a unit that recently got his Extreme Z Awakening. A pretty powerful one at that, especially offensively, very strong. In his base form, which only lasts till the 3rd turn now, he has a high chance of launching an additional super against one enemy, 120% attack and defense gained on super, and 200% attack and defense. In his 2nd transformed state, he basically has the ability to fire up to 3 or 4 super attacks a turn, and he's going to do some pretty huge damage overall. So Broly looks really solid, especially if you can get a friend that's 100%. He's also now 170% across the board full power lead, which does help things out quite a bit as well. He also doesn't really lack for ki, although we have a semi-decent pairing partner in the form of Kale, who just provides some of the more major links for him. Then talking about the rest of the team, obviously If you look at, for example, uh, Kale, Kale's a very, very strong unit. She's super duper reliable. She has improved stats when you have a Caulifla in the team, a strength Caulifla. And so Kale's going to be a very solid unit. She's going to be providing support to our 2 floating units as well, which overall is pretty helpful. And in general, her kit is really, really solid. So I like the way she looks quite a bit actually. Then the other 2 units are Tech Kaba and Strength Caulifla. Strength Caulifla is okay. She's got evasion, which does help her out quite a bit. Although we're not really activating her full passive, nor are we trying to make her the shining star. She's just doing a lot of good, decent work across the board and putting in some decent damage. And really just doing a decent workload. And then same with Tech Kaba. More just a very, very, very strong unit. And basically able to do some really good damage. You do need to make sure you get a super attack. I think earlier on in the event you would have seen him get hit by a super attack and get hit by a normal when he doesn't activate his on super defense. And you're going to see, or you would have seen, that he does take a lot of damage. But if you get a super, he doesn't tend to take like a huge amount of damage, so you shouldn't really have like any major issues. So I think overall you should be looking pretty solid with good old Kaba as a floater. I think as a floater he's more than fine. Obviously the final phase is int, but we should shred through that with our physical units, and we should still have some items available. So I don't see it being a huge issue for us overall. I just think, in general we tend to look like we have pretty decent options for the full power team. It is quite limited. There's not a lot of options beyond these units. I think there's a strength Kayaken Goku who's like okay. And I think, like if you look at the rest of the units, I think they are pretty solid. But I think these are definitely the best. Overall, and I think this is the best way to kind of run those pairings and everything. So yeah, pretty good stuff overall, and a very solid team. So we're just gonna skip ahead a little bit to the final fight, obviously against Int MUI Goku. And yeah, generally speaking, everything goes quite fine here. Really nothing too crazy overall. And yeah, you're gonna see the really cool ability of Broly to pretty much insta one-shot the int phase of the event. Broly's EZA was pretty good from a damage perspective, and even with such low stats, Broly's going to absolutely incinerate UI Goku. He does get a little bit unlucky with not getting his final attack in, which would have allowed him to basically one-shot him, but it's really not a problem. Broly does such huge damage. Always anticipated this happening. We did use a couple items, especially during the strength phase. So just a heads up there. Obviously, be aware, be a little bit careful. But the strength phase is probably our weakest point, considering we have so many physical characters. And physical characters with flat defenses. So just play it safe, be careful, and you should be fine. But yeah, overall, all a pretty chilled time, pretty easy, and everything went through swimmingly. So that's pretty solid, and I think everything went really, really good. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.